This is a tutorial for Adobe XD. XD is a UX design tool. It is a great tool to start with if you want to start your career in UX design, because this is a very simple software to use, and you don't there's not a very big learning curve. However, it allows you to effectively and efficiently communicate your visual ideas, right? So this thing, Adobe XD comes, it's a software by Adobe, of course, and it's available free and with cloud membership, Creative Cloud, Adobe Creative Cloud membership. In the free version you have some limitations, that you can only share with one person at a time. In the paid membership um, there's no such limitation, right? So in order to, this is before we get there, this is available on Windows and Mac, right? And so you start your Adobe XD. This is the first, when you start your Adobe XD, this is the first screen that you're going to see. Now this gives you certain uh, predefined dimensions that you want to design it for example, iPhone, iPad, the web, and if you want to have customized dimensions, right? Like if you want to just start typing here, you will get the 1080 or whatever you want to type, right? uh, on the right hand side we have the recent documents that you have currently worked on, okay? And here are some useful links to, for example, UI kits and resources. This we'll cover later, and this is a small tutorial at the bottom, right? So let's say we want to start developing for the web. Just going to select this particular dimension, double click, right? And I'm going to increase the size on this, right? Now this is your dashboard. When you first say it, this is where the one dashboard equals one screen, and this is something very important that you should remember, because you link these pages, these artboards. Oh, sorry, I think I used the wrong word before, which was dashboard. The right word is artboards. You use these artboards um, for one single screen, right? And if this, for example, this is a home page, and the next one is going to be, next artboard is going to be your let's say about page, okay? uh, in the artboard you have certain options. Before we go to the artboards, on the left hand side you have all the available tools on the top, these ones, right? You have the move tool, pretty standard. You can shortcut is V, and this is rectangle tool. You can see the shortcuts that are coming up, just on the tooltip. And then the ellipse tool, line tool, pen tool, text tool, and the artboard tool, and the search. I think it's, sorry, the zoom, right? I hardly use that because I use the shortcuts. And then you have the symbols here, symbols panel, and then there's a layers panel. Okay, this is more like a artboard layer, not layers like Photoshop. Okay, when you click on artboard, for example, I click on the name here, and if I double click, I can change the name, right? Hello world, right? And I can also do that from the link here, the layers artboard panel, and I can just double click, hey, hello world 2. Okay, so just like make it 2. Okay, um, yeah. So these are the artboard options, and you're changing the name, and again I'm selecting the whole the thing. On the right hand side you have the options available for that particular tool that you select on the left hand side. For example, if you see, now I've got the artboard selected right now, and you can see all the available options that I have for it. I've got the widths, right, dimensions starting at X, Y. Where does it start? I want to make it portrait. I want to make it landscape, right? And scrolling. If you want to enable scrolling on this when you share your prototypes, and at what level you want to share the uh, or share your scrolling to start at, right? So right now the height is 1080. Okay, now this is the appearance. You can change the color, change whatever color you want. However, let's keep it white for now. And then there's the layout option. Now if you work with the HTML and CSS, you'll know about um, Bootstrap and the grid system. Not sorry, Bootstrap, the grid system. The grid system So make sure whatever you're designing, it should be easily transferable to it should be easily be translated into HTML. So these grids are very useful when you're designing uh, for the web, or for example, if you want to maintain the good structure and responsiveness. So these grids are very important, right? So you can so that there are some grid options as well. For example, if you can layout, if you want to make squares, so it's going to give you that uh, the whole boxes kind of thing, the advanced grid, and this is basically the standard web grid, right? So yeah, so this is a dimension, how many columns you want, right? If I make it 2, so it's going to give me 2 columns, 1 and 2. You can see the blues changing, and how much the gutter is the space between 2 columns. Let's make it 100. So you see the gap has increased between these two, right? uh, and then how much spacing you want from around, from left and right, or from all the sides, right? So it's gonna, if you see 140, it's gonna be 140, right? This is what it does, right? However, we're not gonna use it for now. Just explaining the tool, okay? And then you have the move tool, okay? Sorry, before you go there, move tool. Now artboard, you can duplicate the artboard by clicking on the name and press Alt or Options on your Mac, Alt on Windows. You click it. Sorry, you click it and hold the Option key and the Alt key and drag the artboard. It's going to duplicate the artboard for you, and you can change the name Hello World 3, whatever you want to do. Okay, so this is it. Then is the move tool. The move tool is basically allows you to move. For example, I'll make a square here. I'll make a square, and I just want to move it around. Okay, I'll have the V selected here. As you can see, it's blue. I can move it around. Okay? So whatever the position I want to put it in, I can move it. Let me just switch off my grid for me. I find it very distracting. Yeah, leave that. I'm gonna delete this. Just select the artboard and delete. Press the delete button. It's going to delete. Now this is the move tool, pretty standard, right? Sorry. So this is a rectangle tool. You press R, okay, and you can drag whatever shape you need. Now here you have on the right hand side you have the dimensions. If let's say I want to make it square, 550, I'm going to copy this, and on the height, sorry, 550, I'm going to make it 550 here as well. So it's become a square. And now there are some options. For example, the opacity. How much opacity? Let me change the color first. So you change the color, okay? You change the color by clicking on the fill option here, and then you change the opacity, how opaque you want it to be, transparent. And then there's a radius. You can change the radius of it, radius of a shape, right? And then you have the border. If you want the border, you don't want the border, what color is the border going to be, right? You have all those options. And if you select again, there's the width of the border. For example, let's make it 4, so you can actually see the yellow border that's come up. So I made it 4 pixel wide, right? Then there's the shadow. Okay, if you want to use shadow in this, you can increase or decrease. Let's make it 13. Let's make it 26. Okay, so you can see the subtle shadow that's come up here. Okay, these are options you have available on the on the rectangle tool. Plus you have more options. If let's say you can create shapes with this also, quick simple shapes. For example, I take these two and select them both, and then you have these what you want to do with this shape. For example, I want to combine them together. I'll click this one, unify. It's generally called unify. So it's become one shape now, right? And if I want to cut the top, so it's going to cut the top, right? So it's given me this shape. So if you want to just take the overlapping pieces, then it's giving me this shape, right? And this is again just exclude the overlapping, and it's going to give me the outer shapes, right? So this is what this is. So you can create multiple shapes depending on your requirement. Similarly, you have the ellipse tool, same options available on the ellipse as well. Okay, this it just creates a circle, right? If you select ellipse or the rectangle, sorry, if you select the rectangle, what you can do is you can uh, shift and drag. It's going to give you a uniform shape. For example, if it's a circle, it's going to give you a straight, uniform circle. Now, if you want to try again, the shortcut is R. I'm pressing R right now. If you, in case you're wondering why, how is it happening? Uh, if I disable shift, I don't want to press shift. I can just create any shape I want. Okay, so this is the rectangle tool, right? And similarly, you have a line tool. So you can press shift and drag. It's going to give you a very straight line, right? If you have it's I think you can select it with L. L is the shortcut for it, right? So you can create as many lines as you want. Similarly, you have the options here on the right hand side. Then you have the pen tool. The pen tool has a slight learning curve, and this is for generally for slightly advanced user, but you need to know how to use the pen tool. So it's a very useful tool if you want to use some shapes and masking and whatnot. Right. And then you have the text tool. Now text tool is there are two ways to enter the text. One is you drag and you drag and define an area. So whatever you type in here, sorry, come on, cancel. So whatever you type in here, it's not going to exceed the dimensions that you provided. Okay, so it's going to stay in there. It's not going to increase more than that. Right, you can say it, but once I go out of it, you won't be able to say it. Okay, and you can drag. Now there's a blue dot here which says, so there's a blue dot, and there's a inside. So that means it's telling me that there's something hidden under it. So if you see now that the blue dot has disappeared, right? Similarly, you can drag and create the area you want to, right? So yeah, this is one way to use it. The other way is you press T, right, and you just click on a screen, and it's going to give you that cursor. You start typing, right? So there is no limitation. Whatever you want to type, you can start typing here. Right? Or to get off it, Command Enter or Control Enter. You're out of this the text tool. Okay. Now you on the right side you have yeah, on the right side you have the text font style. So whatever font you want to use, right? Right. And then you have the font size. Let's make it 70, 42, no, 42. Okay. And then you have how you want it to be aligned, left, center, or right. Okay. And this is the size. This is the paragraph options. How you want it to be, like sorry, yeah. If you want to make it instead of now, if you want to convert this into this format, single click, you can just click on this. It's going to become an open box. And if you want to convert your text into paragraph, you just click this. And if you want to back it to simple text box, you use this one, right? And this is what basically telling you the gap between each of the letters. And this is the line height. Let's make it 10, so you see what's happening there, right? Decrease, increase. So these are pretty useful tools there if you want to make it underline. Okay. And then again is the transparency, the color, if you in case you want to give it a border, right? So you can give it a border as well. Yeah, shadow, no shadow. So these options are also available to you. Okay, because this is the basic overview of the tools that you have that are available with you for XD. And then is the artboard, which I think we have already covered. And then is the zoom function. Just click on the area you want to zoom. Ideally, I don't use that. Control 1. So if you want to see the whole thing, if you want to see the actual default sizing, you press Command 1 or Control 1. If you want to see the whole screen, whole artboard in your given space, you press Command or Control 0. Okay. So that being said, so this is a very important symbol here. This is this tool. This is a symbols tool. Now this allows you to create a set of styles that you normally going to use in your prototypes, because when you start designing, it's going to be very lots of pages, and you want to reuse lots of your assets or font styles, or for example, symbols per se. Let's say you have a button, you want to keep the button consistent throughout, so that is what you do. I'll show you an example here. I'll take the text tool now. I'll start typing there. I'll say hello. Now this is a font that I've chosen. Okay, now this has a, this is the font is let's say, let's use something nice, Haiti. Yeah, so this is a Haiti font. Okay, now this is the border, and the color is, let's say, blue. Okay, now if I add, now this thing has two colors, um, the red one and the yellow one. If I want to save those two colors for the later use, I'll just click add here, and it has given me both the colors, saved my colors, right? So I can reuse them again and again, so I don't have to, find those colors. Another thing you can do to save these colors is, for example, one in the fill color, I have a color right now, let's say this one. I want to save it, I want to reuse it, so I'll just press enter here, right? So my color is saved now. So next time I have another thing, another item I'm working on, I'll just select this color. So it's, I mean, it's already selected, but in case I want to go back to this one, so yeah, so it's pretty convenient when you have lots of things you're working with. Similarly, you can save the this color also. So both the colors are same, so it's the same thing, either you save them here or you save them here, right? But here it's slightly more flexible. Now if you want to change the color to this one, I'll change the color, right? You can see what's happening there, right? So this is saving my colors. Now I want to save the size, the font size, the this letter spacing, and the line height, and the text styling, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm select it, and it saved it. So it says light 127 pixel. Now I have another text here, right? I want to use that styling, so I'll simply just, let me change it for you just in case, right? So I have chosen a different font now, so I'm gonna go to my symbols and I'm gonna click it, so it's become the style that I've saved. Okay, similarly I have a shape here, let's say it's a picture, let's give it a color. Okay, let's give it a border radius of hey, why can't I give it a radius? For some reason I can't give it a radius. Let me delete that. Just select it. Alright, so yeah, so here this is giving me the radius. I'm gonna give it a radius of 10 pixel. Okay, let's give it a more, 20 pixel, 50 pixel, make it 50 pixel, just for the hell of it. Okay, no, I don't want 40. 40 is bad. 20 is a good style. Right, so I have this particular shape. It has a radius of 20 pixel, and it has a color. Let's use this one. It is a color, no border. Okay, I'm going to use it, I want to make it, for example, something that I can reuse as a placeholder for an image. Alright, so you usually have those mountain sort of things. Okay, so this is, let's make it white. Okay, size 2 pixel, just playing around, nothing special. Okay, so this is a shape that I want to reuse regularly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select them and press group them together by pressing Control or Command G, right? So on the Mac it's Command, and on the Windows it's Control Command G. Okay, if I want to ungroup it, I'll press Command Shift G, ungroup. Okay, so I'm grouped them again, and I'm going to save it here. So this symbol has been saved now. Okay, the beauty is now what I want to do is, I have this shape already. Now if you see it's yellow, right, you can see the yellow border around it, that means it's still in symbol mode. So what that means is, if I edit here something, the master is also going to update it. If you see, the master is also changing on the left hand side. See the color, right? So that is also changed. Now in case I don't want this behavior to happen, so what I can do is, I can press Command Shift G, right, or Control Shift G in Windows, and now out of the symbol. Now if I change the color, now it is not going to affect the master. Okay. Now let's make it a symbol again, just for the fun of it. Okay, and I'm gonna start typing some text below it. Let's say hello. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to replicate these two. um, I want them to appear. I want to make a duplicate of them, uh, so that I don't have to copy them. So what I do is, this is a repeat grid option. So this is a very useful option. You click on this, uh, it allows you to just create multiple copies, as many copies as you want, right? And if you mouse over on the gap, so you can actually increase or decrease the gap also. I don't know for some why is it not working. So I click on this. I think there's some bug. Let me increase the size of this. Yeah, a repeat grid. Let's repeat this. Okay, I want the gap to decrease. See? You see now the gap is increasing, decreasing. So this is a very useful tool if you want to create some sort of repetitive UI elements. This is what you do for it. Okay. Yeah. So this is your grid, and I can change the gap between the shapes by clicking this. It is still in repeat grid mode. Now if I want to get out of it, all I have to do is control command on Mac and control on Windows, shift G. Now I've broken the group, so it's now individual elements, right? But make sure, but this, however, this is still in symbol mode. That means it's connected to the master. Now if I change on one, the color on all these are going to change, including the master. Okay, so so what I want to do is I just want to change the color of one of these. So what I'm going to do is Control Shift G, which I already told you. If you want to break the symbol, this is what you can do. Yeah, and if I change the color, the only color for only this thing is going to change. The rest is going to be, because they're still a part of the symbol, they're going to change uh, the color, including of all the elements, and that of the one in the master. Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's about it for now. Next we'll start understanding how to apply these tools, these great features of Adobe XD, and get started with the UX process. What are the challenges involved? How should we start thinking about UX? I mean, this is open field, and we can start as anything we like. However, we need to channelize it so that it's more efficient and more streamlined, uh, that we are able to communicate our UX design philosophies, or you know methodologies that we have used to use through these tools. Yeah, so that's what we want to do. So there's another aspect which is prototyping. Now prototyping is also a part of it's so we'll cover it in the UX process. Now this is very important, but before we go to the prototypes, we need to know what we're going to build. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll show you the real examples how to use these tools. Yeah, how to use Adobe XD practically, so that you can it's useful so when you're working. Yeah. That's it for now. So let me know what you think of the video, in case there's something that I need to change or something need to update. So if I need to change the style of my control my tone in any way, let me know. Yeah, so this is my first video, so just forgive me just in case. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Please subscribe and do like the video if you like it. Yeah, thank you.